Hi everyone, this is Ichi, your boy. This is not how I usually start my videos, is it? No, it's not, because this is a special one, a little first Ichiversary celebration. I recently, for those of you that don't know, had my first channel anniversary, or Ichiversary, on May 14th. And not too far before that was my birthday, May 10th. And to celebrate, I put out a form asking you guys to submit questions for my first AMA, where you can ask me anything. I got a lot of questions, so thank you for that. And I'm going to be answering them in this kind of loose, chill ASMR format. It's a beautiful, cool spring morning. I have the windows open so you can hear maybe some birds chirping. You can hear some like city ambience, cars going by, that kind of thing. I hope that that provides a nice little soundscape for you. And I'm just going to spend the next maybe hour or so answering some questions for you guys. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the first one. I had a couple of duplicate questions. If you submitted a question that someone already sent in before you, you'll probably know it'll be answered for you. If you left me a cute little note or something, I will read it. So I hope you don't feel left out. But in an effort to save time, we're answering things once. I don't want to bore you guys to death. So, happy to be here for the Ichiversary. Yay! My question is, if there was an audio continuation besides the Tsundere Night one, what would you do? Can be safe for work or not safe for work audios. Love them both equally. Thank you. I will answer for the safe for work ones here. If you want to hear my answers for the not safe for work one, that'll be posted in the not safe for work version, which is going to be, if you go to my Twitter, I'll have links to it. You can go to my card site, check my master list, it'll be on there. Let's see, audios that I would want to continue. Well, the Tsundere Night one is very special. That's definitely one that I have like a whole story planned out for. It's going to be like 7 or 8 parts. That should be a lot of fun. I definitely want to continue the Coffee and Comfort series that Lupin wrote, one of my favorite scriptwriters. She's very prolific. The Coffee and Comfort ones, those are just like nice if you just need a little like something to fall asleep to real quick. Those are cute, those are fun. Let's see. I definitely want to continue the flirting with your coworker one. I feel like that one leaves off in a way that's just super easy to continue with. And the sick comfort one that you guys loved, that the YouTube search recommendations caught. A lot of people, I think, found my stuff through that. I'd love to do another one of those, maybe a reverse comfort one. I think that would be fun for both genders. And yeah, I think those are the ones that come to mind immediately. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. If you could own a mythical creature, what would you pick? Love and appreciate all the work you've done, and happy Ichiversary. Thank you very much. I feel like what comes to mind first is those dragons from like Eastern mythology. I think that style of dragon is super fun, very serene and beautiful. I don't know logistically how it would work to try and like house one of those. Probably not well. But I think a unicorn would also be very nice. If I had like a wide open field or forest for it to roam around in and just, see it come by every once in a while, that would be incredible. I love unicorns. They're very majestic. They're beautiful creatures. If you woke up in any fictional world, book, anime, video game, etc., which would you choose and why? Mine is Pokemon because I've been playing for so long, I'd be independently wealthy. Yeah, I think I would be too. You know, I think I would probably pick, sorry for the boring answer, but I'd probably pick Pokemon too. It's just too good. It's too good to pass up on. I mean, you gotta experience Pokemon in real life. I mean, come on. That's, people that enjoy Pokemon have been thinking about that since it came out. Like, what would it be like if Pokemon were real? You know, what would the world look like? I think another good one would be any setting from a Ghibli movie. I think they do scenes of nature just perfectly. It's just so, those visuals are just so uplifting to the spirit and in a way that few other things are. If you could forget one book, movie, or TV show so you could experience it for the first time again, what would you pick? Definitely Death Note, Code Geass, Haruhi Suzumiya. Those are the ones I think of immediately. Those IPs were absolutely formative for me in my childhood. If I had to think of a more recent one, maybe Ashita no Jo. I just finished reading that not too long ago. Incredible, classic boxing manga. I'd love to experience that again, maybe as a child. And Legend of the Galactic Heroes, I think. I'd love to experience that entire roller coaster ride for the first time again. Do you have any anime or manga hot takes? You know I have several hot takes. Okay, let me see. I'll give you two. How about that? I'll give you one that's going to get everyone riled up and you're all going to unsubscribe from me and hate me forever. And then I'll give you a deeper cut. Now, just to preface this, I haven't watched the anime. I've only read the manga. I understand that the whole draw of this series is the fact that the anime is animated at an unbelievably high quality, at the expense of their animators that get treated like absolute garbage, which is horrifying. But when I read Jujutsu Kaisen, I thought it was horribly mid. I thought it was so average. It had moments that I thought were very captivating. A couple characters, I think Nanami and Gojo are very good characters. I can't even remember the main character's name, Itadori. I can't stick with him. He's just so plain and uninteresting. I had to stop reading it. I really couldn't do it. I got to the part where the two groups of high school kids like met together in Tokyo or something like that. I can't really remember. It's been a year or so since it's been more than that now since I read the part that I read. And then the other one, the best shonen series of all time. I want you to picture that in your mind. What is that for you? Objectively the best shonen IP ever. Think of it. Visualize it in your head. If it's not Yu Yu Hakusho, you're wrong. Yu Yu Hakusho and I don't know why, maybe because it's old, but a lot of people haven't seen it. It is the best shonen series. Listen, you're screaming at me now. I can hear it. But you like tournament arcs? Yeah, guess who mastered that? Yu Yu Hakusho. Read it, watch it, digest it in whatever way you can. Give it a go. You deserve it. Incredible experience. Let's see. Do you have a skincare routine? Please describe if you do. Absolutely. No matter what age you are, no matter what gender you are, you should have a skincare routine. I'm so serious about that. I'm going to give you the business. I'm going to give you the breakdown. Check this out. We double cleanse. It's not a meme. You need to double cleanse. Water-based cleanser, oil-based cleanser. Use both of them. You're going to get all that muck, all that guck, all that slime and grime. You're going to get it off your face. It's going to be nice and clean so that when you put the other stuff on, it's going to take. It's going to really settle into your skin. There won't be any inconsistencies. It won't be dirty. All right? Double cleanse, or I'm going to track you down. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to do something. Okay? Next. Toner. I put mine in a little atomizer, a little spray bottle, spray it all over my face. If you have a little like rose water or something like that, put that on there before the toner. Keep your face nice and wet. Keep it moisturized. Let the toner really like set in there. Ooh, someone's revving. It's a beautiful day to be outside, so there's probably a lot of people on motorcycles. Get your toner on there. Get your skin nice and prepped for all of the stuff that you're going to put on there. This is what you're going to do next. You're going to get a nice serum, right? It should be, depending on what you get, I use the snail mucin ones. You know which brand that is if you know. They don't sponsor me, so I'm not going to name drop. Get a nice serum that you enjoy. The snail mucin one feels thick, but it's really not. It's just slimy, right? But it's very thin. It goes onto your face. Very nice. Couple pumps of that all the way. Make sure you get your neck too, okay? Then I'm going to hit him with an anti-wrinkle cream. It doesn't matter what kind you use. You can use a tretinoin. You can use something that's just a general, like Neutrogena, whatever, wrinkle cream. Put that on there. All right? Keep this in mind. If you're going to put something like that on your skin, you better use sunscreen if you're going to go outside at all. Okay? Use that sunscreen, because when you're using something that has a lot of vitamin A in it, it makes your skin very sensitive to UV rays. You should be using sunscreen every time you go outside anyways, but especially if you use an anti-aging, anti-wrinkle cream that has vitamin A or some kind of tretinoin in it, okay? This is incredibly important. I need you to listen to this, okay? Use sunscreen. Next, I let that cream kind of like settle in a little bit because it's very thick. You know, I don't want to put something on right after it because it's not going to penetrate through that. After it's nice and soaked in, I hit them with like a general just moisturizer, right? I use Klairs Midnight Cooling Moisturizer. It's like it comes in a black tube. It's a Korean brand. It's a nice, what color would you say that is? It's like a nice crisp periwinkle, okay? It's beautiful. Great for your skin. It's my favorite moisturizer. I use it for my face and my neck every day. Even if I don't have time for a full thing, I'll just slap that on there before I go to sleep, you know, depending on how it is. But listen, the whole 7-step thing, you don't have to do all that. I don't do all of that, okay? I don't have time to exfoliate my skin every day. I'm a busy boy. I got a lot of things to do, okay? You don't have to do the whole thing. Every once in a while is fine. You know, if you want to use an exfoliator, be my guest, okay? Exfoliators are great. Do I exfoliate every day? Fuck no. No, of course not. But listen, you use a little routine like mine. Here's the thing, you're not going to break the bank. You're going to have you're going to cover a lot of your bases, okay? It's a nice, solid routine, all right? And your skin is going to be looking fresh to death. When you're old, you're going to be looking 20 years younger, right? When I shave my mustache and my beard, I'm a 27-year-old man. I'm an adult. I'm nowhere close to looking like a teenager anymore. The wrinkles, I'm at the age where wrinkles start popping up a little bit, right? When I shave, I look like I'm 16. You know why? Because I moisturize my skin. I take care of my skin. Essential. What was it like starting to post audios for the first time? Or what got you into it? I think my experience was not the experience that a lot of people have. I've been in the community for, like the audio roleplay ASMR community, for a long, long time. More than 10 years. I just recently started posting last year, but I already kind of knew the formula. When I started posting to Reddit and YouTube, initially I got a lot of traction. I really kind of blew up pretty hard. Not great, I didn't go viral or anything, but the algorithm liked my stuff. People on Reddit liked my stuff and made the front page almost from the first post that I made, right? I don't feel like that's common for a lot of people. I think a lot of people have a much longer build-up, a much longer creative arc. But for me, I was so familiar with how this stuff goes already, it was very easy for me to just see how it was going to work for me, and then just start putting stuff out there that people like to see. It's slowed down a little bit, especially on YouTube, because I had to take a couple breaks. The algorithm doesn't like when you take breaks. And I haven't been quite as prolific. I haven't been putting stuff out consistently. Those are behaviors that the algorithm doesn't reward. If you're inconsistent, or if you go without posting for a long period of time, it's going to drop you. So I lost a lot of steam, but I developed that initial core audience very quickly. And that, I think, gave me a lot of motivation to buckle down and be like, hey, this is something that I should probably continue to do. What got me into it? I have a lot of answers for this, but one of the answers that I usually give is I was in a position in my life where a lot of my time was being taken up by work. I felt like my personal life and my hobbies were starting to fade away a little bit, and I felt like I didn't have any time for myself. And I just needed to do something new. I needed to find a way to tap into my creativity. And this was the best way that I felt like I could do it. And it's great. I mean, it gave me a lot of energy, being able to make stuff like that. I love it. I loved it from the very beginning. It gave me something to be excited about in a period of my life where I didn't have a lot going for me. All right, the next one. God bless you. I love you to death. You gave me like 12 questions, and I can't get to all of them. In the interest of saving time and not making this, so long that it's a drag to listen to, I gotta cut it a little bit short. I'm sorry. I love you to death. In real life, you're super hot and gorgeous, and you're great at everything that you do. You're a fantastic person. I can't answer all of these. I'm sorry. But I'll go through and grab a couple that I see that I like, that I can answer real rapid fire. I'll do as many as I can, okay? All right, here we go. How would you describe your style? Very simple. I keep it classy. You know, if I'm actually dressing up for something, I dress up very well. I do business professional, I think very nice, very clean. Generally, I wear a lot of black pants, black shirts. It's like a mix of 2007 emo, a little bit of mall goth in there, with I don't know. I do stuff like I paint my nails, and I used to have my ears pierced, but I would do like really simple stuff, a little splash of color here and there. How do you like to spend your free time? Listen, my free time, I just want to chill. I'm trying to lounge, man. All these people like stay on that grind set, gamers. No, I'm not about that. I'm not about grinding. Do you know what you're grinding when you're grinding? You're grinding away yourself, okay? You're grinding away yourself. Don't make it into this whole like, oh, look at me, I'm doing all this. You're gonna burn out so fast. I will still be flickering and surviving when your flame has long extinguished, you grinder. I'm not grind maxing. I'm lounge maxing, okay? I'm trying to max and relax. All right? That's how I like to live. I have my little projects that I work on, okay? I have my little things that I do, but I'm not trying to squeeze as much into my day as I can. I like to get up nice and I like to get up nice and slow in the morning. I like to take my time. I like to ease into my daily activities. And then I cut it short at like 2 p.m., bro. I'm going home. I'm laying on the couch. I'm having a good time. I was a bit of a dog. That's what I'm about, okay? What is the process like when you brainstorm audio ideas? I take the Mitch Hedberg approach. Rest in peace. Very interesting comedian. I love listening to him talk. I'm not a big comedy guy, but I'm a big fan of Mitch Hedberg. I open up my mind throughout the day. I keep an open mind and I allow things to just come in, pass through, and leave. Every once in a while, I'll get something that passes through and I capture it for a moment. I'll put it in my notes app real quick. Sometimes it's a whole full-fledged thing. Sometimes it's just a theme. Sometimes it's 3 words, right? And I just put it in my notes app. When I'm going through later looking for something to write, something will stick out to me and I'll be like, I know what to do for that one. I know what I can do with this one, right? I know where to take that. And then I let it all come very naturally. I think I'm lucky in the sense that I get a lot of ideas that, pass through my brain so I can keep up with making stuff constantly. But that's how I do it. What is the most attractive quality in a man/woman? I'm going to go the generic route. I'm going to say confidence. If you know what you're about and you're comfortable showing people what you're about and not caring what they think either way, that's living, man. You're living big. That's the idea. I try to live like that too. Let's see. Have you ever been in love? Yes. And that's all you're getting. All right, let's see here. Hi, Ichi. Hello. I have an important question. Oh, okay. Let's get serious real quick. Would you rather be a hamster or a guinea pig? Thanks. Thank you for your very intrepid question. Now we're gonna have to get real serious for this one. I'm all about scientific. I'm all about, creating logical solutions to problems. And when I'm faced with a problem like this, I go straight to what makes the most sense. Break it down point by point. And I gotta say, when you're a hamster, you have an edge on the competition. that round shape, peak aerodynamic, okay? Your aerodynamics are looking like you're just gonna cut through the air. And I'll tell you what, the size, another significant factor. When you're dealing with a size like that, like the size of a hamster, people don't know this. Nobody talks about this. You're perfectly proportioned to fit into the palm of the average human hand. So when we're talking about getting an edge over the competition, perfect size and shape to just get launched through the air. You can throw a hamster way further than you can throw a guinea pig. Guinea pigs aren't putting up numbers like that. Guinea pig, come on. Who are you fooling? A guinea pig can barely fit into my hand, let alone an average human hand. I mean, when you really think about it, when you really consider the evidence like that, I feel like the answer is clear. Don't laugh, it's very serious. Why did you start making audios? I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I'm going to give you one of the answers, because there are multiple answers, but this is a really big one. I don't know what it's like in other places in the world right now. I'm in the US of A, baby. I'm just going to tell you what I see here, right? Young millennials and Gen Z, people my age, we've got it hard right now. We've had it hard. And as someone that has tried his hand in like corporate America and tried to make a living that way, let me tell you, it's a dead end. Do you see the way that companies are treating their employees nowadays? Inhumane. Zero respect. A total lack of freedom and dignity in a lot of these places. They treat you like you're expendable, and they treat you like you're disposable. And when you think to yourself, like I did, how am I going to support myself in the long term? How am I going to build myself up financially in the long term? Can I do it working at a place that treats me like a disposable tool? There's no stability in that nowadays. I can't trust these companies nowadays to provide me with a square deal that I know is going to provide for my security. So I don't. I'm not planning on it, right? Let me tell you. A lot of things in our country broke during the era of pestilence, the era that shall not be named, right? A few years back. A lot of things in our society, whether we noticed them or not, completely shattered. A lot of people were displaced, and what that means is that people that are trying to enter a lot of industries are not able to. A lot of people our age are not able to get jobs right now. I've seen it from myself. I've seen it from a lot of other people my age, okay? Everyone is talking about how the working world is impenetrable right now. And you know why? A huge portion of why that is because during, the era of plague, people were cutting down on staff. People were cutting down on payroll. People that were able to not work chose not to work. And a lot of companies did not go under. You know why? Because they offloaded all of the extra work onto their employees that stayed there. And they didn't give them any extra money for it. And you know what those people did? Because they have to work, they just took it. They just took it on the chin. All that extra work for no extra pay. And companies have realized that they can run low staff, save money on payroll, and still get an acceptable amount of productivity. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely foul. When a lot of people were displaced, another thing that happened was that, and it's still happening now, as of this, it's happening in the tech sector like crazy, widespread. Senior employees, managing employees, are getting fired from their positions to save payroll. Those people are generally older. They usually have mortgages. They usually have a family or kids to provide for. So they're scrambling. They need to get another job, and they can't afford to be waiting unless you're a programmer making like $300,000 a year and you just have hella savings to sit back on. You're looking for a job right away, and you're going to take whatever you can get because you have bills to pay. So what's happening is a lot of these upper level employees that are applying for lower level positions that you and I are trying to apply for and get our foot into an industry where we can grow and thrive. And we're getting stopped at the door because we can't compete with someone that's got 10 years of experience doing the same job. It doesn't matter what our resume looks like. You can have recommendations from the president. For all I care, you're not going to be able to get in the door. So if you want to be able to survive in this environment, you got to get creative, and you got to try and do things that, other people aren't doing. You got to try and do things your own way. If you want to have any semblance of work-life balance nowadays, if you want to have any semblance of financial independence, you got to do your own thing. And while I started doing this as like a fun, creative thing, in the back of my head the whole time has been, if I can make this my way that I make my living, my quality of life and my fulfillment that I find in my work is going to be the kind of thing that I can sustain and live with for my whole life. I've hopped around in a lot of different jobs. I've tried a lot of different things. This is the only thing I can see myself doing long term and feel rewarded by. This is the only thing that I can see myself doing and own the products that I create, have rights and ownership over my own labor. That is key. If you can find that out there, grab it, keep it, don't let it go. Long answer, I know, but I'll get off my soapbox now. Is there any advice you can give to anyone who wants to start making audios? I'm getting that soapbox right back out. Advice for someone that wants to start making audios? Here's my advice. Start making audios. Let me explain. I'm not trying to be facetious with you, okay? When it comes to audios specifically, when it comes to equipment, when it comes to editing, you're going to reach a point where it's diminishing returns when you invest into stuff like that. All that you need to be doing with technology and editing is getting to a point where your audio quality is decent. Now, with that out of the way, the difference between like a mid-tier VA or audio maker and a high-tier one on the technology and editing scale, there's not much of a difference. But from the people that are at the low, like beginning stages, and the people that are up in the middle, a little more developed, it's a world of difference, right? That it's something that you absolutely need to have. Now, what's going to set you apart is not the editing. It's not the technology. It's not the equipment. It's not your microphone. It's not the sound effects you use, right? You just need those to be good. But everyone has that, right? Everyone has like a decent quality for those things. What sets them apart is the personality in their voice and delivery, the personality that comes across in their writing, if they write for their own audios, and it's the character that you can deliver in your acting. Those are the things that are going to set you apart. Those are the ways that people are going to notice you, right? Think about the voice actors that you listen to. Think about the people that make audios that you listen to. You cannot tell who it is until you hear their voice. But once you hear their voice, you know who it is, right? If you're just listening to sound effects and stuff like that, you really are hard pressed to, unless someone has a thing that they're known for, you're going to be really hard pressed to be able to tell who it is just from the microphone that they're using, right? That doesn't matter, all right? When you're trying to make a name for yourself, when you're trying to come up with your own artistic style, it's the unique attributes that you possess that come across in the art that you make that are going to set you apart, right? I'm going to give you a little trick of the trade. I'm going to give you a little tool that you can utilize, all right? Keep this in mind when you start off, okay? The reason that my advice to you is just start making audios is because every time you do, you're getting a couple more followers every time. Inevitably, even when you first start out and you're in there with everyone else and nobody can tell you and someone else apart, you're down there with, everyone else's stuff, and you're just waiting for that one person to find what you make and discover you. Each time you make something and you put it out there, people are going to see it. In the beginning, it might only be a couple people, a handful, but every time you put something out, that is an opportunity for people to see it and decide that they're going to follow you in what you make. All right? Every time you do that, you're setting a new floor for how your work performs, okay? When you first start out and you post that first audio, you're starting from zero. I guarantee you there's going to be at least a couple people that see that even when you're first starting out, and they're going to be like, oh, this person looks promising. I'm going to follow them. I'm going to listen to the other stuff that they put out. So now when you post a second audio, the people that earnestly follow you, they're going to listen to it. It's almost a guarantee. So you're not starting from zero anymore. If you had 5 people that followed you after listening to the first audio that you made and decided that they were going to listen to the next one, they're going to listen to the next one. You're not starting from 0, you're starting from 5. It compounds. Every time you release something and it reaches new faces and those people decide that they're going to follow you, it compounds, right? I'll give you personal anecdotes for this one. Every time I release something on YouTube's algorithm is notoriously bad at showing your stuff to new people. Every time I post something on YouTube, I get that within the first day, the people that follow me and always listen to my stuff, there's about 1,000 of them. So in the first day, I can expect about 1,000 listens to my audio. From there, that's where I'm starting, right? So now it's, the first, once the algorithm decides what it's going to do with it, those next couple people, those new people that it gets shown to, there's a chance that I'm going to grab a couple of them and they're going to listen. And now I'm starting off from a little bit higher than I did last time. On Reddit, you're trying to make the front page of the subreddit so that everyone that goes to the subreddit sees your name, sees the thing that you made, and has an opportunity to listen to it. That's what you're going for, right? When people follow you on Reddit and they see notifications for when you drop stuff, they're going to listen to it when it drops. So now you're getting that initial boost. After a while, you're going to start off on the front page, and it's going to be a matter of how far up you make it, right? When I post on Reddit now, I'm very thankful that when I post, pretty much everything I post makes the front page in one way or another. For me, it's, the other couple big VAs that post on the same day as me, it's seeing where I'm going to stack up with them. Am I going to be in that number 1 spot? Am I going to be in the number 2, number 3 spot? That's where I'm at. But when you first start out, it's making it to that front page. And you're going to do that by consistently putting stuff out and compounding your audience. That's the trick, all right? Do you have any book suggestions or a book/books you've thoroughly enjoyed? I read ceaselessly when I was a kid. That was the only entertainment that I had access to 24/7 were books, so I did it a lot. Are you guys enjoying the city ambience? Are you guys enjoying the city ASMR? It's, we'll see, man. A lot of it is just it's just motorcycles blasting down the road and like the bus and stuff. We'll see. Let me know if you guys have enjoyed that at all. I read a little bit more when I was in college because that's a lot of what my degree was. It was, here's 6 books for the semester. This is what you do. This is your assignment. I'll give you one from each, okay? When I was a kid, I was enamored with the series of Unfortunate Events books by Lemony Snicket. Fantastic series of books. Even as a young adult, or if I went back now and read it, there's a lot of entertainment value still. Absolutely fascinated with it. This was before I had access to like Amazon or ordering books online and whatnot. So I was going to my school library, I was going to my local library, and I was praying that someone donated the volume I'm missing so I can keep going. And when I went in one day and I found it there, oh, if you don't have a library card for the area that you live in, I guarantee you it's free. Go get one. Go spend some time in a library. It's good for you. It's good for your soul, okay? Next, when I was in college, listen, if you're around the age that I think you are, a lot of your humor revolves around the fuck it, we're all going to die one day mentality. If you want to learn how to harness that mentality and use it to provide structure and guidance in your life, and if you're the age that I think you are, you probably need a lot of that right now, because I know that I did. If you're up for a challenge, The Ethics of Ambiguity by Simone de Beauvoir, cannot recommend that book enough. If you need something with the fluidity and the flexibility, but still provides you some structure for your everyday life, read that book. Read it more than once. Really digest it. If you get half as much out of it as I did, you'll get a lot out of it, okay? Any hobbies you enjoy that you'd recommend? I gotta tell you, this last year or so has not been the season for hobbies. I've been very busy. I've had a lot of stuff going on, and I have not had a lot of time for the things that I enjoy in my off time. That being said, this summer, I'm going hard on the hobbies, all right? I'm getting deep. I'm getting all the way into it, okay? I'm going to go back to training jiu-jitsu. A couple of years ago, I was in a position where I had the opportunity to do a little bit of that. I would very much like to join a proper gym and like actually do it. It was a lot of fun when I dabbled in it before. The environment was very stressful though, and it made it not fun. And also for that whole month, I was sick as a dog. I was having it rough, so I wasn't able to enjoy it as much as I really wanted to. But I'm gonna go back and do that. I'm gonna try joining a boxing gym. I'm gonna box a little bit again. Maybe like a once a week thing on the weekends, something just to keep my footwork and keep my form up. I'm going to get back into going to baseball games. I love being around the game. I'm a huge fan. I just love seeing good baseball being played, and I live near a very good team, so I'm going to go check them out a couple times this summer. I'm going to start going on walks a little bit more at night. You know, that's something I haven't been able to do a lot, and I'm going to get back in the gym. I have not been consistently in the gym for the past 5 months, and it is eating away at my soul. I gotta get back in the gym so I can post cool pictures for you guys on Twitter. Follow me there if you want to see pictures of that, because this summer, give me a couple months, I'm going to be back in shape, and I'm going to be throwing them out there, all right? Favorite fruit, vegetable, and candy. Fruit, you know it's a nice, thick, juicy peach. A yellow peach, to be precise. Nothing beats it. Nothing will ever beat it. Peach tea? Are you kidding me? Incredible. Vegetables. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't fuck with no vegetables, alright? But spinach, and to a lesser extent, kale, miraculous food items. Spinach is so versatile. It doesn't have that much of a taste to it. It's slightly bitter. When you cook it down, it's almost a little buttery. Almost. But let me tell you, if you are like me and you have the palate of a 5-year-old child, spinach is your best friend, brother. You can get free servings of spinach by throwing it into a protein shake and blending it up. You can't even taste it. Same with red cabbage, which has an incredible nutrient profile. Same with kale, which has an incredible nutrient profile. You can throw those, blend them up, and they literally don't taste like anything. That's a little life hack for you, okay? Eat your freaking greens, you goblin. If I can do it, you can do it, all right? Here's another thing. Spinach, throw it in an omelet, okay? You're getting eggs, which have a fantastic nutrient profile as well. A little bit of protein, nice carbs, okay, a little bit of fat. Eat the whole egg. Don't be a little boy. Don't be a small infinitesimal child, okay? Eat the egg white and the yolk, okay? Be a big boy, all right? Get a complete nutrient profile from it. A little spinach in your omelet. I'm telling you, listen, I ain't no chef, but that's some good eating, all right? Another thing, if you're having a little pasta meme, if you're doing one of those, throw a little spinach in there. So throw a little spinach into the sauce, let that cook down. You're gonna love it, all right? A little pasta sauce, a little spaghetti, a little paschenti. Get that in there, have a nice meal, all right? It's a little gift from me to you. Mwah. If you play any video games, which ones do you play? Gotta be honest with you. Haven't had a lot of time for gaming lately. I usually play games with my friends whenever I do. And we've just not been syncing together on the game time. In the past, we play Minecraft together. We would play, I'm blanking right now, but that's definitely the way that I did it. In my past 10 years or so, played a lot of Minecraft, played a lot of Skyrim, played a lot of RimWorld, okay? These are good games. Played a lot of Civ 6. Lately, I've been, every once in a while, I play games for like maybe 30 minutes a day max, right? Not very often anymore. Most of the time, I'm booting up TF2, Team Fortress 2, dead game. I know, I'm aware. Trust me, this is a nostalgia game for me, right? I know the game is dead. I know it's infested with bots. I know that all of the servers are fucking empty, all right? I'm not there like a pathetic old person that's trying to recapture that magic because I realize I've wasted my life. No, I'm just there to get a little nostalgia bump, a little key bump of nostalgia, right? So that I can just have a nice 30-minute period of time. I don't even go on the servers, right? The days of fucking around with people on Mario Kart 2012, those days are long gone. That's ancient history, brother. 2012, that was like 20 years ago. Not just kidding, it was like 6 years ago. It was actually 12 years ago. Okay, no, that's epic. Oh god, that just hit me like a truck. I'm sorry. I'm just completely thrown off now. I just realized I was old for 1 second, and it just ruined me. I'm going on offline training. I'm booting up CP Gorge. Okay, I'm playing against bots on easy mode, and I don't care. All right. I'm just trying to have a good time, and I'm not gonna let any of you stop me. That being said, I definitely see Ichi streams in our future, and I will be playing old games from my childhood on there. So If you want something to look forward to that. Where is your dream travel destination and how would you get there? Cruise, plane, car, etc. I would absolutely love to do a U.S. road trip, just all the way across. When I was a little bit younger, I had, for my car bros out there, listen to this one. I was a Miata guy, right? Look it up if you're not familiar with it. Look up 1992 NA. That's the model type. People in the community refer to it as the NA Miata. It's the one that's got the cool pop-up lights. Had one of those. Had it in glossy cherry red. Oh man, you throw the top down on that thing on a nice day, cruising around on back roads, whipping that shit. You're gonna have a good time. I would love to get another car exactly like that. I'm gonna do this one day. I'm gonna get a car exactly like that, and I'm gonna have my road trip across the U.S. and I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it. What's your favorite genre of music? Do you have any songs you'd recommend or a playlist of music you could share with us? Happy birthday, by the way. I hope you have an amazing year filled with many blessings. I hope the same for you. Thank you. Favorite genre of music? I listen to everything. And when I say that, I literally mean I listen to everything. I listen to classical. I listen to country. I listen to rap. I listen to metal. I listen to like factory noises with like a bunch of filters and shit over it. I listen to everything, right? Lately, it's getting warmer. We're getting closer to summer. The city pop playlists are starting to bubble up to the surface. The Midwestern emo playlists, the kind of stuff that's like very nostalgic to like summer vacation, that's starting to find its way up to the surface. I'm listening to a lot of that lately. I'm going to issue you a rain check on song recommendations and playlists. I have a plan for that kind of thing in the future. Stay tuned for that, all right? Take your rain check. We'll come back to that, all right? Happy belated birthday. Thank you. Do you have a favorite food/foods you'd recommend to your listeners? I do. When I went to Korea, I had the opportunity to partake in one of the finest culinary triumphs in their cultural history. This like sweet, spicy sauce lathered on top of these soft, chewy rice cakes called tteokbokki. Tteokbokki. If you haven't tried it, I urge you to do so. It is one of my favorite comfort meals. It's one of my favorite meals, okay? Have that with a little bit of like melty cheese, like mozzarella cheese. Have that with some ramen. You're gonna be living large, I'm telling you right now. What's the name of your cat? Do you have any other pets? If you do, what are their names? I have 2 cats. One is tortoise shell. Her name is Sally. I post pictures of her on Twitter all the time. The other one, her name is Lorna. She's a black cat. They're sisters. They're from the same litter. You don't see Lorna very often because Sally is just a perfect photogenic little cutie pie angel. She's very social. She's very fun. She plops all the time. She's very sweet. She's got a lot of tortitude. She likes to come up and nibble on me. Lorna is a ghost. I'm not sure if Lorna is even real. She's a lurker. She just kind of like lurks around. She stalks. She skulks around in the darkness. Most of the time, she is hiding under the couch or under the bed like a little gremlin. And she does not really come out until like afternoon. And whenever she is out, it's so that she can meep at me to give her food. Love her to death. Sweet angel. She's about as far away from photogenic as you can possibly get. I think I have 2 pictures on my entire phone of her that aren't blurry from her running around and like scampering. She scampers. That's another thing. She scampers. It's so funny. I try and take pictures of both of them. In the same exact picture, Sally will be sitting there, gorgeous, beautiful cat, incredibly photogenic, and then on the other side of the picture is just this like black blur that I believe might have been Lorna at some point in time. I will share more pictures of them. How did you come up with your username? Very easy. Ichigeki is one hit, one punch, like one strike in Japanese. VA is voice actor. That's just kind of a common thing in the community that you see. I wanted to put that on there to kind of round everything out. I don't know why, but ending my name with an I just didn't feel comfortable with that, so I needed to put a little thing at the end, and it phonetically, it sounds nice, and it also looks nice when you spell it out. Ichigeki, I got that from the reason that I called it that. It's not a One Punch Man reference. The reason I called it that is because I want the people that listen to my stuff to listen one time, and I want it to just strike them so hard that they constantly stick around and come back for more. How many languages do you speak? I only speak 2 languages well, I would say. English is my native language. I'm from the States. And Japanese I've been studying off and on for the past 12 years. And I'm fairly capable with that. I can have competent conversations in both of those languages. I can read and write Japanese at like a 5th grade level. I'm a little rusty though, so maybe not right now, but hypothetically. I'm familiar to an extent with Korean. I studied it hard for 2 years, and I can have like basic conversations. I can read and write it perfectly fine. Not very fast, but I'm competent. I took German for 2 years in college. It was a requirement for me, and I kind of breezed through it a little bit. I lost a lot of it though, I gotta be honest with you. I don't remember much of it anymore. And Spanish. I grew up around a lot of Spanish. I took it in high school. I was bad at it, but I went back and revisited it a couple years ago. I know a lot of like street Spanish. I understand a decent amount of it. I can't speak it too well. I would like to go back and learn. I feel like if I went and sat down for a long time and like worked on it, I would be able to catch on to it pretty quick. Do you have a favorite TV show or movie? The first thing that comes to mind for TV show is probably Legend of the Galactic Heroes. That was a big one for me. That's usually my go-to answer. There's a lot of stuff that I like. Mostly anime. I don't really watch TV shows. I don't really watch movies either. I'm sorry. I'm not well equipped to answer this question of yours. I was a big fan of I watched with a friend of mine not too long ago, Killing Eve. That's a fun show. I like that. Favorite thing to order at a coffee shop. I'm not a big coffee shop kind of guy. I only recently started going to them because the place that I moved to has a lot of them nearby. I've never stepped foot into a Starbucks in my entire life. I'm going to be so real with you right now. Never. And I had one in my high school and in my college, and I have not set foot into one. Usually when I do go, I'll get like a nice mocha, maybe like a mocha latte, something like that. Something that's got a little bit of sweet to it. That really does me nice. I can't drink plain coffee because it's just way too bitter for me. 5-year-old palate and all that. Sweet or salty, and why? It switches off every couple months. For the last couple months, it was salty, but I feel like I'm starting to transition my way into a sweet era right now. And why? I always have had a mega sweet tooth. I don't know why. I think it was because when I was a kid, dessert was very like fetishized to the point where like I wasn't allowed to have dessert hardly ever. And so now I have this compulsiveness about it, and that's probably honestly why I am that way. Have you ever traveled before? Favorite vacation spot? When I was younger, I did not have the opportunity to travel very much. I still kind of don't. Most of the traveling I did was in my home state. And I would travel back to the state that I was born in every once in a while. That was about as hard as I went. A few years back, when I was in college, I saved up my monies and I went by myself to South Korea to visit some friends of mine from college. And it was absolutely incredible. That's got to be my favorite one that I've been to so far. I adore it. I would, at the drop of a hat, I'd go again if I could. Favorite trend of 2024? I don't know. I don't keep up with trends. I don't know. This is a hard one for me to answer. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Maybe we could do like VA trends or something like that. I absolutely adored the trend where people were coming up with like these absurd boyfriend girlfriend role plays, where they would like, it'd be totally normal and then all of a sudden they'd get hit by a truck or something and they'd just like scream and peek their microphone. I think that shit is so funny. For years, before I even planned on doing this myself, I've always wanted to do something like that where I just like, I'm gonna like, I'm your boyfriend and I'm gonna cook a nice meal for you, and then I just like drop a bunch of pots and pans on the ground and it just makes like a bunch of fucking racket. I've always wanted to do that. Do you drink? If you do you have any alcoholic cocktails you prefer? I do, occasionally. When I was younger, I was, this is going to paint me in not the best light. Let's just put it this way. When I was in college, I would drink vodka straight. Every once in a while, if I needed some help getting it down, I'd get like green apple flavored, or I would mix in like a little bit of Sprite. I would go to the, oh, Jesus Christ. I would go to the 7-Eleven and I would get like a 4 Loko, sometimes multiple. I'd get like a 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice, and sometimes I'd get like the 40, the Steel Reserve, just dog water, disgusting, foul. I could never dream of living like that again. I do fuck with soju a little bit. My Korean friends in college introduced me to it, and maybe not as good as when I was in college, but if you handed me a grapefruit soju right now, I could do the little like bottle spin thing where you make that like whirl, you like flick it up and down and you make that like little whirlpool inside, and then I would turn it upside down, I'd drain it into my mouth, I would like spin it so it would drain faster, and I'd chug the whole thing in one go. I might not be able to do that anymore because sometimes soju doesn't sit right in my stomach anymore. Same thing with sake. I used to drink sake all the time when I was younger. Can't anymore. The moment that I have one sip of sake, my body immediately rejects it and I vomit. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that. But it's such a shame. Recently, I don't really do hard liquor anymore. I have been into cider. Cider Boys is one of my favorite brands. They make excellent stuff. I like a little sweet, you know? I'll have an Asahi or a Sapporo with like Japanese or Korean food, which I eat frequently. I drink I have maybe 1 or 2 drinks a week, and only on special occasions now. Every once in a while, I'll go out and get a frozen margarita. When I do that, I have like 3 or 4 of them. I'll be bold and beautiful and honest with you. I have no self-control when it comes to frozen margaritas. Those go down way too easily. yeah, that's about. I mean, I'll order a cocktail every once in a while. I love girly drinks. I don't have anything to prove, man. I'm 27. I'm not ego drinking anymore. Those days are long gone. Give me a Cosmo. Give me something fruity. I don't care. Weirdest dream you've ever had? I might not have an answer for you on this one because I can't remember any. I rarely remember my dreams. The last dream I remember was from like 5 years ago. And it was when I was running along a cliffside and there was just like a sharp drop off, like straight into the water, like Grand Canyon type shit. And I was running along real close to the edge of this cliffside and someone was following me like, dude, you gotta get away. You gotta get away from the cliffside, dude. You gotta get away from the cliffside. You're gonna fall. And I turned around and looked at him while I was running and I was like, I'm not gonna fall. I do this shit all the time. Immediately fell. And as soon as I hit the ground, I woke up. That's the last thing I remember. Are you an introvert, ambivert, or extrovert? I'm certainly not an extrovert. I would say that I'm an introvert, but I can turn on the communication skill when I need it. It severely drains my social battery, though. That's why I have to say I'm not an ambivert. It causes me a lot of distress to socialize for long periods of time, even though I am very good at it. I've come very far since I was younger. When I was younger, I was just straight introvert. I could not talk to anyone. What's your astrology sign? I'm a Taurus, baby. And listen, I might make some enemies with this. I don't believe that astrology is a real thing. I love it. I think it's fascinating. I don't think that the sign that you were born under has any influence on how you turn out as a person. That being said, for someone that doesn't believe in like the mysticism of astrology, I'm such a fucking Taurus, bro. I am the most Taurus of all Tauruses. And I'm born in the year of the ox. So like, I'm a stubborn motherfucker. I am such a fucking Taurus. I'm very like chill. I'm independent. I do my own thing. I'm very stubborn. I'm very sensual and romantic. That's me. Favorite dessert or guilty pleasure? I'm not guilty about it at all. First of all, I'll tell you that right now. When I need a hit, when I need some of that good shit, I'm getting like fuck me up chocolate ice cream. Like chocolate ice cream, chocolate pudding in there, chocolate brownies, chocolate cookies. I want to need a life alert by the time I'm done with that kind of ice cream. And I'm not guilty about it at all. Fight me. I don't care. What's your go-to boba order? I don't order boba tea very often. Only once in a long while, maybe once every couple of years. Usually I keep it nice and simple. I go for like a nice milk tea, a little bit of caramel or something in there. And then I just do the basic tapioca. Normal amount. I don't get extra or anything like that. If anything, I'd get like a little light on the tapioca pearls maybe. Do you have a favorite K-pop group? And do you have a K-pop bias? You better believe I do. K-pop was first brought onto my radar in like 2014 with Girls' Generation. And what's the other one? Oh, I'm blanking on the name right now. A-Pink, that was another one. In 2018, I thought I was out. I never really paid much attention to K-pop, but when I saw Red Velvet's music video for Bad Boy, it pulled me back in, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm a man. I'm attracted to women. I am not immune to the level of serve that they were giving in that music video. Are you kidding me? You want to know if I have a type? That's it. That's my type. I want a girl that can just fucking kill me. Oh my god. I love Red Velvet. I still do. Even though they make new music much slower nowadays. They're kind of at the sunset of their group's career, I think. I maintain that Red Velvet's album B-sides are some of the best B-sides in K-pop. I will die on that hill. Another group that I'm a big fan of is Promise 9. I think their songs are a lot of fun. I think that group has a lot of talent. Lately, New Jeans has been just wowing me with every release that comes out. Unbelievably unique sound from that group. Old Jeans. I'm sorry, Old Jeans. That's a callback to an audio. New Jeans is great. As for my bias, listen, man. I'm a big fan of Serom from Promise 9, Romse. She's just absolutely gorgeous. 10 out of 10. I cannot escape the gravitational pull and the allure of Kang Sulgi from Red Velvet. That woman has a hold on me. I would give it all up. I would give up everything. That's all I'm going to say about that. Out of all the audios you've ever made, which one's your favorite and why? I'm a big fan of the Incubus one. And I'm also a big fan of the first Tsundere Night and the second one, to be honest with you. Those, for whatever reason, are always ones that I come back to, that I always remember. I think that's going to be that way for a long time. What is something that would make you blush or extremely bashful, ranging from cute to more erotic/hot? I'll give you the cute one here. How about that? You're going to have to go somewhere else if you want to hear me get more specific with the spicy stuff. I'm going to be honest with you, compliments. When people call me pretty, that absolutely stops me in my tracks. It just floors me every time. Pretty is my favorite compliment. When people call me pretty, it just does something to my brain. It just rewires it. I don't know what it is. What would you advise a sophomore student about their life in terms of study and future plans? I don't know if you're a sophomore in high school or a sophomore in college, but either way, you are so young. You're just a little baby, okay? You have your whole life ahead of you. I don't know. Obviously, you're like the planning type if this is something that you're thinking about so early. When I was 15, I wasn't thinking about what I was going to fucking do when I was older. I didn't give a shit. I just want to come home and play games. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You don't have to do one thing for your whole life. You don't have to get it right the first time. Life is about changing, right? You're going to have a lot of different eras in your life where you do different things. Embrace that. Don't get too set in your ways. I understand that it can be stressful, scary, expensive to make significant lane changes in your life. But if you can do it and you're willing to put in the work, do it. If you feel your life is pulling you in a different direction and you're giving up something solid to make that change and see if that's something that's going to work out, I urge you to think about it and consider trying it. Do what you have to do to make sure that you're clothed and fed and you have a place to sleep. But other than that, I mean, there are so many things that you can do in your life. It would be a shame to not try as many of them as you could. That's the best advice I can give you. I really enjoyed your ASMR content. They're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you. Must have taken you so much energy to record them. Are you a longtime listener of ASMR content? Do you plan to make more videos with whispering and triggers? I absolutely do. during this summer and after this summer, I'm going to go hard on like the traditional ASMR content. I have so many ideas for things that I want to do. I really want to do trigger words in different languages. I really want to do more stuff with my hands. I'm very excited to embrace more of that. I promise. I have not forgotten about you guys. I'm gonna make sure that you're taken care of. Okay. I am a longtime listener of ASMR content. I've been listening to ASMR since before it was called ASMR. I think the first ASMR related stuff that I really started listening to consistently was in 2013. I listened to like Heather Feather, all of like the OG ASMR people. What Asian countries do you plan to travel? As many as possible. As many as possible. If I had to pick like which ones I would want to do first, I definitely want to go to Japan. I've always wanted to go since I was a kid. I'm anxious to try out my Japanese to see if I can hang. I'd love to go back to Korea. I'd like to visit, this is an underrated one, I'd like to visit Brunei. I don't know if you can, that's the thing. Brunei is a very interesting country. Very unique social structure and government. I legitimately don't know if I'm even allowed to visit there. You might not be able to visit, but I would love to. Another underrated one, Vietnam. I have a lot of friends from Vietnam that I went to college with. I'm captivated by their history and their culture, and I would love to visit. Those are the ones that I'd like to do as soon as possible. But I would go to as many Asian countries as I possibly can. I want to visit all of them. Are you planning on learning Chinese? I've tried it in the past. I have to say it's unfortunately it's very difficult for me. I just can't get that one to stick. I would be very interested in learning some like phrases and stuff. I think that would be fun, but that's about as much Chinese as I could learn. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm capable of getting very good at it. Hi, Ichi. Hi. I just want to say that I appreciate your work so much. 2024 has been a stressful and struggling year for me, and I just couldn't make it without your silky voice as the dearest company. I'm so sorry that you've had a troubling time. I hope that things get better for you, and I'm glad that I could provide a little bit of comfort for you during those times. Getting comments like this one are my favorite because it reminds me that there are other people on the other side of the content that I make, and it shows me that there are people that genuinely enjoy the things that I put out there, and it makes me feel fantastic. I love it. That's why I continue to do this. Being able to have an impact on people like that's huge for me. So thank you very much for your comment. I greatly appreciate it. Can we have more Catboy Ichi? Of course you can. I definitely want to do more Catboy related stuff. That's very fun for me. So I haven't forgotten about the Catboy stuff. I will do more, I promise. Can we get more pictures of your cat? Definitely not mentioning your hands are must needed in the pictures. You think you're slick. You're not fooling anyone, okay? Absolutely. I love taking pictures of my cats. I'll try and get a couple pictures of Lorna too, so you guys can see her for how she really is, not just a blur, barely captured on film. And yeah, I'll put my hand in some of them. I'll throw you dogs a bone, okay? Love you, stay positive, and just keep calm. Thank you. I definitely find it easier to stay calm about things as I get older. Nothing really like surprises me anymore, so it's very easy for me to just like calmly approach stuff and not freak out about things. one of the cool things about getting older is you see a lot of things. So when those things happen to you again later on in life, it's less like, oh shit, what's going on? It's more like, oh, this again. And then you just kind of do what you did last time, do what you figured out, the last time that you were faced with a situation like that. And it becomes a little more boring, a little more mundane. What kind of music do you enjoy the most? I shared some genres with you that I like, but I think the one that I like the most is probably city pop. That's had such a fundamental impact on me as a person. I first listened to city pop way before the city pop boom. Not to be that guy, but I did. I first started listening to city pop back in 2011. I discovered a bunch of old records, and that's how I listened to it. I listened to it on record. And I continue to enjoy it to this day. Bro, I love Old Jeans too. I mean, their song just hit different. Do you have your favorite song from this girl group? I see you listen to my K-pop idol audio. That was my fun little joke about how, if they don't get brand deals, I love this. I love how petty this is. If they don't get brand deals, if they're not paid money, they're not going to give these companies a fucking ounce of advertising. They put tape over brand logos on shirts and stuff. They don't say brand names. I love that. I think that's such a slay. I love that. I do have a favorite song from New Jeans or Old Jeans. I think my favorite is still Hype Boy. I think that, let's see. I think Bubblegum is very good. I think Super Shy is also very good, but nothing hits me quite like Hype Boy does. I have a very special connection to that song. I have a very specific ritual that I performed with that song when it first came out, and I listened to it all the time. I was in a very interesting period of my life. My life looked very interesting during that time, that's all I'll say. And a lot of that period of my life has faded away a little bit. There are some little reminders here and there in my behavior that still stick with me. But every time I hear Hype Boy, it brings me right back to that time. And I have a lot of fond memories. So it's very enjoyable to come back to that song and enjoy that period of my life again for what it was. I suppose you read, Ichi. You suppose correctly. Can you recommend one book that you find interesting and educational you've recently read? I gave you the Simone de Beauvoir book. I'll give you one more, and it's going to be a philosophy one, another one that I read in college. Let's see. I gotta make sure that I get this right, so let me look up the specific book. I'm typing. Please be patient with me while I type. Yeah, it was Being and Nothingness by Jean-Paul Sartre. In the field of existentialism and phenomenology, if you are up for a challenge, I will say he is one of the academic writers that has a lot of flavor to his writing, very much like Karl Marx. Their writing is not just for the sake of getting ideas down on paper. They actually participate in the craftsmanship of writing, and they make the information they're trying to convey much more palatable and easier to digest. Being in Nothingness is an interesting one because it helps you reckon with choice and how impactful that is as a human being. choice, I think, is what makes us unique. I think that's what guides a lot of our experience as human beings in this life. And I think learning how to utilize choice and learning how to, I guess, categorize that in your life is a very powerful tool for living life the way that you want to, and finding order and direction in it. So I strongly recommend that. It's very long. If you don't feel like tackling a long book, read a summary of it, read spark notes of it, just digest the material in it, because I think it's very useful. Would you ever do any sort of reveal, face, body, etc.? Yes, eventually I will do that. I'm not going to reveal my face, just because I do not safe for work content, and I don't want that to become, I don't want that to become something that is recognizable along with my face. I don't want it to be tied in with that. Not that there's any kind of shame with that. I think people that do not safe for work content and show their face, go off, queen, do your thing. You're killing it. But believe it or not, I'm a very private person. I don't like to connect my personal life to the things that I create and post online. I like to keep those two things separate. I don't like too much overlap with that. I like my privacy. I like the simpleness of my private life. And I'd like to keep, all of this internet and content creation stuff in a place where I can disconnect from it if I want to. I will do reveals for everything but my face eventually. So that's that. What's your favorite childhood memory? Definitely playing baseball. I have a lot of fond memories of playing baseball as a kid. That competitiveness, baseball being the game it is, you only really succeed in that game very rarely. Even if you're a generational talent at the game, you're going to spend the majority of your time playing baseball failing. And it's the breakthroughs when they happen, those emotional highs, that adrenaline rush of your bat connecting with the ball right when you need it to. That's definitely a highlight of my childhood. Are you going to make any more M for M audios? Yes, absolutely I will. In fact, if you're listening to this when it drops, June is going to be very much dedicated to male for male content, general LGBT-centered content. That's a very important thing to me. I didn't get a chance to really go all out in June last year, so I'm taking the opportunity to do it this year. LGBT community issues are a very big part of my life. While I do not personally identify with a lot of those struggles, I know people, and I have people very close to me that do. And it's very important to me to maintain a connection to that and provide content for people like that have more specific identities that don't get catered to very often. So I definitely want to make sure that I create more stuff like that. What's your ethnicity? P.S. Love you. Love you too. Thank you. I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that I'm white. I'm very white. I haven't done like a DNA test like a lot of people do, but I've had members of my family do family genealogy way back. And I am like 80% German, specifically German. And the other 20% is like various like Northern European, English. It's a mix of all of those, but I'm like overwhelmingly German. So yeah, I'm white as fuck, bro. How old is Sir Ichi? Oh, no need for honorifics here. We're all friends. I'm 27. I just turned 27. Gotta be honest with you, I do not feel 27. I've been blessed with relatively good health. I have a couple things that are nagging at me just because I haven't been able to exercise properly for a while. But all in all, I'm very healthy. I feel like I'm definitely a different person than when I was 18, but I feel like it's the same, like, brain piloting my body now as it was when I was 18. I definitely can tell how, like, my frontal lobe has finished forming, because I look back at a lot of things that I did even like a few years ago when I was like 23, 24, and I was like, why the fuck did you do that? But I definitely feel like my prefrontal cortex, all of that stuff, that whatever it is that takes a long time to finish forming, especially for men, it's formed now, baby. I'm an adult. Let's see. How many languages can you speak? If you speak more than one, please speak some of it. That's why I included this one. Okay. We'll go rapid fire on this. I'll just speak in all the ones that I know, and we'll keep it real simple. I've really lost all of the German that I knew. Hablo español. I have a little bit of I have a Spanish accent a little bit. I pronounce the Z's softly. So like in the surname Perez, I would say Perez instead of Perez. In English, I have a very neutral accent. I have just like mostly a Midwestern accent. Every once in a while, you'll catch a flash of like the South in there. I'm sure you've heard it if you're keen on accents and that kind of thing. You've probably heard me put a little bit of a drawl on a word here and there. 한국어 말할 수 있어요? I'm definitely a little rusty on Korean. It's been a while since I've been able to use it for anything. 日本語話せます。はい。発音が上手かな? I think my pronunciation in Japanese is fairly good. I've studied it off and on, so I definitely have like little bits of rust here and there. If I brushed up on it a little bit, I'd probably be able to have a pretty fluent conversation, just like generally speaking. I'm interested to travel to Japan someday and see if I get Nihongo. I'll definitely get Nihongo jozu. I'm hoping that I can put it off as long as possible. I'm gonna see how far I can get before someone Nihongo jozus me. For those of you that don't know, that's just like a common thing that Japanese people say out of politeness to people that clearly don't speak Japanese. They're just like, oh, Nihongo jozu, like your Japanese is really good. But like if you're actually good at Japanese, people will be like, so how long have you lived in Japan? That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm aiming for. How tall are you? Prepare your loins for this one. 6'3". I've actually shrunk a little. When I was in high school, I was 6'4". I don't know if it's just because my posture has gotten worse, but 6'3" is on my driver's license. And last time I measured, it was 6'3". 192 centimeters for all my metric boys. Do you plan to do this long term? As long as I can. As long as I'm afforded the ability to do so, yes. I will be doing stuff like this in some capacity. Absolutely. I'm blessed with flexibility right now. I'm able to really stay consistent with audios, and I'm hoping it stays that way for as long as possible because I really enjoy doing it. I think this next year or so is going to be very crucial because I don't know how much longer I'll be able to have the job that I have that's paying my bills right now. So if in this next year or two, if I can get to the point where I make enough money off of this to not have a day job and scrape by if I have to, That's going to be absolutely key. If I can get to the point where I can spend all of my time working on this, then I'll really be able to put out a lot of stuff for you guys, and I'm really hoping it gets to that point. How do you make the sound effects for your audios? I try and source them myself when I can. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that I can't do, but I try and record it myself when I have the opportunity to do so. When I don't, Freesound is an incredible website where you can get just about anything you need. I use that a lot. Please donate to Freesound if you get an opportunity to do so, because they are an incredible resource. Oh, I think that's the bus going by. I want to ask, what kind of songs do you usually listen to, and have you ever thought of adding some of your singing parts to your audios, which I would quite enjoy personally? And then they've got the little ooh-woo fingers pointing together, those little emojis. That's cute. I like that. All I'm going to say about including singing is stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. I might get into specifics on Patreon. I don't know. Hey, Ichi. Hi. I've been listening to your audios from over a year now, and I love your voice. Thank you. You've been with me since the beginning. That's a long-ass time. And my question is, what is your type in people, and what got you into VA in the first place? Thank you, from Ruby. Thank you, Ruby. My type in people, just generally speaking, I like people that are more laid back. I like people that have a lot of life experiences to share. I like people that are very introspective and can have, deep and intelligent conversations about topics. I like people that aren't afraid to be their genuine self. Romantically, I definitely like people that are confident and about themselves. They know who they are. They're not afraid if people like them or not. They're going to be who they are no matter what. Ooh, motorcycle. It's a great day for motorcycle riding, man. It's such beautiful weather right now. I don't blame them. I really like people that have a good sense of style. It doesn't have to be like expensive. It doesn't have to be like a specific kind of style. I just like when they have an idea and a theme in their head and they really like go for it. What got me into VAing? What was it that ultimately made me decide? I'm trying to give a different perspective on each time I get this question. I think I was in a place in my life where I was so consumed by work. The job that I had ran me fucking ragged. It was awful. And when I came home, I needed something that I could just do real quick with the time that I had to live a little bit and feel like I'm doing something or making something, being productive. And I was like, fuck it. I've been wanting to do audios for so long. I just got to go all the way into it and I got to do it. And that's what I did. I would wake up early as sin to record at night when there was no noise back at my old place before I went to work at 7:30 in the morning. God, I'd be there until like 5:15, 5:30. I worked overtime every day. I got paid for it though. I got time and a half for it, so it was worth it. But even still, after all of that, the job didn't pay very much. And I was like, I just need something that I can do that I can use to take back my personal life. And that was how I did it. And now here we are. When you take your shoes off, which shoe do you tend to take off first? Follow-up question. Do you typically use your hands or feet to take off your shoes? These questions are so weird. Sorry. Well, not a weird question at all. This is very important, and I'm going to give it the attention it deserves. I usually take off the right shoe first. It depends on what kind of shoe I'm wearing. If I'm wearing a very nice shoe that I don't want to get scuffed up, I'll take it off with my hands. I'll pick my right foot up and I'll shimmy my shoe off, and then I'll go with the other one. I usually leave my shoes tied when I take them off. If it's too tight, I will untie them. If they're like nice dress shoes, I'll untie them and loosen them up and slip them off. If they're just beaters, if I've got my like Nikes, if I've just got my like daily beaters on, I'm slipping those off with the feet. I'm not trying to, go into the grocery store. I'm not trying to impress anyone, man. I just want to take my shoes off. I slip them off with my toe. I'll put my toe behind the heel of the shoe on my right side, slip my foot out. Easy. Happy birthday, fellow Earth sign. Thank you, fellow Earth sign. I think the content you put out is really fun and well made. How did you get started voice acting, and can you describe your creative process? Thank you very much. Let me try and give a different perspective on this because I've answered this one a little bit. I got started voice acting by, I had a tripod that I got from my grandpa's house. I bought a little Tascam recorder online a long time ago. Originally, this is funny. Here's a little bit of Ichi lore for you. Before I had any like aspirations to do ASMR content, I wanted to do political science video essays. That's what I went to college for. That's another thing that I'm very passionate about. I wanted to do like bread tube video essays. Isn't that funny? So I bought all of this equipment to make like videos and record audio and stuff way back when I wanted to do that. And I just had it sitting there for a long time. I never got around to doing it. So I just had all this stuff and I was like, I could make audios. At any point, I don't have to buy anything. It's all here. At any point, I could just decide I'm going to make audios. And so one day I did it. My creative process. I told you guys how I get my inspiration, my ideas. I have, generally speaking, I have a schedule kind of like pounded out now that I abide by. When it's time for me to make an audio, I'll go through my notes app, find something that sticks out to me that I feel inspired by. I'll write the script on it, usually at work. Sometimes I'll do it at home if I don't have a lot of time. I have a little laptop that I take to work with me. Write everything on Google Docs, okay? When I write my scripts, it's very loose. It's not meant for anyone to read except for me, so I shorthand a lot of it. I memorize like the certain cadence I want to deliver a line with because it's my script. And I come home from work pretty early in the afternoon. If my neighbor's not making ungodly loud amounts of noise, I'll drop my tripod and my little Tascam down. I'll put my headphones in to monitor my audio levels, and I'll just record it right there. I do it all. I just do it all at once. If I fuck up, I cut it out. I just keep going. I don't do multiple takes. And I just roll it out, and then I move it to my desktop, my like battle station computer where I have all my editing software. I use a lot of Adobe products. I think that software subscription services are a blight on our society, but I just pay for it anyways because I like the tools that they have available. But if that's not your thing, or something, that's not me advocating for software piracy. That's me making an uncomfortable sound because I've been sitting crisscross applesauce for the past 2 hours and it's starting to get to me. And I slap it on there, I edit it all out, and then I upload it to the proper channels for people to absorb. Let's see. What's the direction for future plans? Do you see yourself making erotic audio for the next 3 to 5 years? What are the new things you're wanting to try in your audios? Future plans, I want to get into streaming at some point this year. I don't know if I'm going to have like a PNG tuber or a VTuber model to use yet. But I'm definitely going to be streaming at some point this year. I think next year is going to be the year that I really get deep into streaming, playing games, talking to friends, doing like a little podcast thing maybe with other VAs. I'm definitely going to try and break out into the VTuber space. I'm very excited for what that has to bring. I have a lot of ideas. I don't want to give them all away yet, but I got a lot of ideas. I see myself making audios erotic and safe for work for as long as I have the time to do it. I may reach a point where I'm not as prolific, but I definitely want that to be a thing that I do continuously. What are new things you're wanting to try in your audios? I definitely at some point want to revamp my sound effects, the ones that I use like over and over for things. I want to get like all new sound effects, make them nice and crisp. I definitely want to try doing some more things involving like my hands. I don't know how to work that in, but we'll see. I think about it a lot. We'll see how it goes. Will you ever be doing a face reveal? P.S. I love your content and it really helps me out. Thank you. I'm so glad that it does. I love you too. Will you ever be doing a face reveal? No. And I'll expand on that a little bit. Unfortunately, people that engage in the kind of content creation that I do are not seen so favorably in internet circles outside of the audio space. I don't want to open up myself and the people around me to that level of internet criticism. And being able to be identified out in public is a way that that can happen very easily. It's just the lack of control makes me uncomfortable. I don't like the idea of not being able to control when I can turn it off and on. That's the biggest thing. All right, we've reached the end. Thank you all for listening this far. If you've fallen asleep already and you weren't woken up by motorcycle noises, sleep tight. Enjoy the rest of your night, day, whenever you're sleeping. For those of you that want to listen to the not safe for work version, you can go check out my Twitter, you can go check out my Reddit, or you can go check out my card site. It's in the description of all of my channels. You can look on there for my master list and you'll be able to find it on there. I'll also have a special Patreon version that will be available on there, where I'll get into some more like spicy detail on things. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the other ones if you choose to listen to, and I'll see you in the next audio. Bye-bye.